Why do we need prophets? Is reason alone enough? In the previous video, we talked about the existence of God and how reason, logic, and science all point toward the presence of a wise creator behind this magnificent universe. But a natural question follows. If this creator brought us into existence with knowledge and wisdom, did he just leave us like that? Did he leave us to live in this world without telling us why we are here? Or did he send us a message, a guide? This is not just a religious question. It's a deep existential one. Humans, by nature, always seek answers to the big questions. Who are we? Why are we here? Where are we going? What is right and what is wrong? And reason alone, despite its greatness, is not always enough to answer those. 1. Is reason enough on its own? Some people say, reason is enough. We can use our minds and live based on what seems suitable. But the truth is, reason has its limits. It can lead us to the conclusion that there is a creator, yes, but it can't provide us with all the details. How should we worship this creator? What does he love or hate? What exactly does he want from us? What's our destiny after death? Reason might lead you to the beginning, but it won't take you to the end. Just like you can look at a device and realize it's been skillfully made, but you won't know how to use it properly without a manual from the manufacturer. The same goes for humans. We are created, and to know how to live properly, the one who created us must send us the manual of life. That manual is the divine message, and the one who brings it to us is the prophet. Not to mention, reason itself can be influenced by emotion, culture, and personal experience. What one person finds logical, another may find absurd. So if we rely purely on subjective reasoning, we risk falling into contradiction and confusion. 2. Why would God send prophets? God doesn't need to send anything for himself. He is independent of us. But we are the ones in need. We need someone to show us the way. The prophet's role isn't just to teach religion, but to be role models. We don't just learn theoretically. We see the truth lived out in the life of a prophet before our eyes. Imagine you're about to take a huge exam, but you have no instructions. You'd be anxious, not knowing where to start. But if a knowledgeable teacher came before you, explained what's needed, and made the path easier, you'd feel comforted and confident. It's the same with prophethood. God sent prophets to clarify the path, reassure us, and show us how to live the truth practically. That's why having a prophet is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Prophets also unify people under a common understanding of truth. Without them, societies would remain divided and chaotic, each person inventing their own way to live. 3. Are prophets here to control us? Of course not. Prophets didn't come to impose control or take advantage of people. In fact, most prophets lived in hardship and were persecuted, all for the sake of delivering the message. Anyone seeking power would never choose the path of prophethood. It's a path full of challenges. Take Prophet Muhammad, for example. He was an orphan, worked hard, and when he became a prophet, he faced persecution, exile, and battles. He could have lived like a king, but he chose to be a humble servant of God. Prophets chose suffering over comfort, sacrifice over personal gain, just to deliver God's message. And their messages often challenged the powerful and the corrupt. If they were trying to gain control, why would they risk their lives confronting kings and leaders? 4. Can morality exist without religion? That's an important question. Some say, we can live morally without needing revelation or a prophet. But let's ask, who defines what's good and what's bad? Is killing always wrong? What if it's during war? Or in self-defense? Is lying always bad? What if it saves a life? Reason varies from person to person. What seems right to you might seem wrong to someone else. So where is the fixed standard? Religion provides that standard. And prophethood delivers it to us, not just as teachings, but as living examples we can follow. Without religion and a clear criterion, morality becomes relative and open to endless interpretations, leading to intellectual and behavioral chaos. Moreover, if morality were purely man-made, we wouldn't see such consistent values across major religions: honesty, justice, kindness, compassion. These shared principles point to a common divine origin. 5. but all religions claim to have prophets. True, and that in itself is a sign that the concept of prophethood is not alien to humanity. Throughout history and across civilizations, people have always spoken of a messenger, a prophet, or a righteous person who came with a divine message. Why? Because the need for guidance is universal. What unites all true prophets is their call to worship one God and their lives of sacrifice for the sake of conveying the message. Even those who never met a prophet still felt there must be a message or a purpose. This reinforces the idea that humans naturally yearn for revelation. And when we study the lives of the great prophets, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and others, we see a striking similarity in their morals, struggles, and missions, despite differences in language and geography. That's not coincidence. It's consistency. 6. Could prophethood be a man-made idea? Some may argue that it's just a human invention to control others. If that's the case, then why were prophets always persecuted? Why did most of them have no worldly interests? Why did they live in poverty and give up worldly gains? If someone is faking prophethood, he would make it work in his favor. But we see the opposite. Take Prophet Noah. He preached for 950 years, yet only a few believed in him. Was he looking for fame or power? Certainly not. Also, prophets didn't just speak beautiful words. They brought laws, commands, and responsibilities. And they were the first to apply them, even when it was hard. Even today, we can tell the difference between those who speak for truth and those who speak for power. The sincerity, sacrifice, and consistency of prophets across history is unmatched. Their lives, their humility, and the legacy they left behind continue to inspire billions. Conclusion. The concept of prophethood isn't just a part of Islamic belief, it's a rational and logical necessity. A wise creator wouldn't leave his creation lost and confused. He would guide them. And prophets are that guidance. They are the light that connects us to God. In our current times, with all the misinformation and countless opinions, we need divine guidance more than ever, to return to the truth and find the path. The message of the prophets is not outdated or irrelevant. It's timeless. It addresses the deepest needs of the human soul, our need for purpose, for moral clarity, for connection with our Creator. In the next video, we'll discuss another very important question. Was Muhammad truly a prophet? And how can we know? Don't forget to like the video if you found it valuable, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you next time, and take care.